For all mankind has officially entered a brand new decade, and that means everything has changed again. Season 5 jumps forward another 10 years, pushing the timeline into the 2010s. But the biggest shock isn't the new technology or the evolving space race. It's the fact that Ed Baldwin is still here. The legendary astronaut who anchored the series from the very beginning is now in his early 80s. And somehow, he's still shaping the future of space exploration. But this season isn't just about Ed anymore. It's about something much bigger. Legacy. The 10-year time jump. One of the defining features of For All Mankind has always been its ambitious timeline. Instead of moving slowly through history, the show jumps forward an entire decade between seasons. Season 1 explored the 1960s space race. Season 2 moved into the 1980s. Season 3 expanded into the 1990s with the first missions to Mars. Season 4 pushed humanity deeper into the Red Planet's colonization. And now Season 5 lands us firmly in the 2010s of the show's alternate history timeline. That massive leap forward has a huge impact on the characters, especially Ed Baldwin. Ed Baldwin at 80. When we first met Ed Baldwin in Season 1, he was one of NASA's most fearless astronauts. A test pilot with nerves of steel. The kind of man willing to push every limit in the pursuit of space exploration. Decades later, he's still that same person inside. But his body is no longer the same. At around 80 years old, Ed is now the oldest astronaut the series has ever shown. The show's creators admit they initially wondered if audiences would believe it. Not just because of the makeup required to age actor Joel Kinnaman, but because Ed Baldwin has always been portrayed as nearly unstoppable. Yet that's exactly what makes this stage of his life so compelling. The reality of aging. Season 5 places Ed in a situation he has never truly faced before. For the first time, he's confronting something he cannot outfly. Time. The man who once represented the absolute peak of human endurance now has to live with the limits of age. He's slower, more fragile, and sometimes even a little forgetful. But deep down, he's still the same person who pushed the boundaries of space exploration decades earlier. That contrast becomes one of the most emotional themes of the season, because even when the body weakens, the spirit that made Ed Baldwin a legend hasn't disappeared. The grandson carrying his legacy. Season 5 also introduces a character who represents the next stage of Ed's story. His grandson, Alex. Now a high school senior, Alex has grown up in a world where Mars isn't just an exploration site. It's home. But unlike most teenagers, Alex faces a major limitation. Because of a medical condition, he can't leave Mars. While his friends prepare to return to Earth for college or military service, Alex knows his life will always be tied to the Red Planet. And that creates a powerful internal conflict. Because Alex isn't just another kid. He's the grandson of one of the most famous astronauts in human history. The weight of expectations. Imagine growing up in a family where nearly everyone is extraordinary. Your grandfather is Ed Baldwin. Your mother is a groundbreaking astronaut and scientist. Your family helped shape humanity's future in space. That's the world Alex lives in. And naturally, it creates enormous pressure. As he reaches adulthood, Alex begins asking the same question many young people face. What does my future look like? But his version of that question is even more complicated. How do you build your own identity when you're surrounded by legends? The Mars boy problem. There's another challenge Alex faces. Everyone sees him as the Mars boy, the kid who grew up on another planet, the symbol of humanity's future among the stars. But that identity doesn't necessarily match how he feels inside. To the rest of the world, Mars is a breathtaking frontier, a place of adventure and possibility. But to Alex, it's just home. And that creates a fascinating emotional contrast. Because the place everyone else dreams about escaping to is the very place Alex can never leave. The beach scene. One small moment in the Season 5 premiere perfectly captures this struggle. Alex puts on a VR headset and visits a virtual beach on Earth. He watches the waves roll toward the sand. He hears the ocean, but he knows something heartbreaking. He may never actually feel the water on his feet. For Alex, the ocean is more alien than Mars itself. And that moment highlights one of the show's most powerful ideas. The things we consider ordinary can be extraordinary to someone else. The theme of legacy. If there's one theme that has grown stronger with every season of For All Mankind, it's legacy. Early seasons focused mostly on the original astronauts and engineers who built the space program. But as the timeline expanded, their children began stepping into the spotlight. Now, with Season 5, we're seeing an entire third generation. Grandchildren, people who didn't just watch history happen. They were born into it. This shift transforms the story from a simple space drama into something much larger. A generational saga about how the decisions of one era shape the lives of the next. Ed Baldwin's true impact. Ed Baldwin's greatest achievement might not be a specific mission, or even the creation of the Mars program. It might be something much more personal, the inspiration he leaves behind. For decades, Ed represented humanity's willingness to explore the unknown. Now, as his life slows down, the question becomes whether that same spirit will continue through the next generation. And Alex may ultimately be the one who decides that. Season 5 of For All Mankind doesn't just move the story forward. It changes the entire perspective of the show. Instead of focusing only on pioneers like Ed Baldwin, it starts asking what happens after the pioneers are gone. What kind of world did they create? And what will the next generation do with it? Because the future of space exploration might no longer belong to the astronauts who started the journey, but to the kids who grew up on Mars.